Greetings, it's Valerie Ling here. Hi there. I'm a clinical psychologist. I live in the wonderful country called Australia. I'm a mom, I'm a business owner, and also someone who just basically has an interest in how can people create more energy if you can't create more time. I guess that's the essence of what my interest is. Thanks for joining me live or on the replay. If you do catch it at all, love to hear from you. Drop me some comments. I'm always pleasantly surprised when I find comments and responses coming from different places like YouTube and things like that. So it does take me a while because I don't always know that you've left me a comment, but I do hope that we do catch one another if that is the case. A series of very small things that can lead to very big shifts. This is probably the big conclusion that I've come to after about 9 months of just trying to figure out why are we all so tired and why is burnout such a big thing, and what is like how do we fix this? How do we solve this? So in contemplating recently, some of these problems, they just seem so big and so extensive and so difficult to move. How are we actually going to I've just realized that you can actually see my board there. I have no idea what That's okay. That was my idea board, and that did not reveal anything too much. Basically, I'll show you what it is. That is my 70, 20, 10. You can see Nespresso's written there. Tell you why. That's one of the brands that I'm curious about. Nespresso, they've got an interesting story. 70, 20, 10. It just focuses me on my energy and focus in terms of where I need to put 70% of my focus on, the 20% and the 10%. Yes. Back to what I said. A series of very small things can lead to very big shifts. I've just about finished a program that I covertly snuck into my sabbatical because during the peak of the pandemic and this time around with a lot of lockdowns and things like that, I was very concerned for some of my colleagues in the health industry, particularly people who owned health businesses and were leading teams through the major stresses of lockdown. And so I just put together something for just a very small group of people, just to work with them for the last 8 weeks to help them to withstand the waves of change and stress that were coming to them with regards to burnout. And upon reflection about some of the things that we landed up talking about, and actually, what was it that we nutted down? Did we redesign any job roles? No. Did we redesign redesign of organizational systems? No. Did we outsource children and staff so we wouldn't have to take care of them? No, we didn't do any of those things. The most surprising things were noted, and then were worked on, and they were very small things. For example, what do we do when we finish a session? Do we run off to the next thing? Particularly with a lot of us working from home right now, making the difference, for example, of actually finishing up, slowly closing down your laptop, packing things up, staying in your room, just kind of doing some breathing, grabbing a book and reading for just 10 minutes to decompress before going out and colliding with your personal life that's outside that door. It could also look like, how do you start your day? Are you rushing in from breakfast or exercise or no exercise? Rushing in from, getting everybody else ready and then just going straight in, right? Or do you put a little buffer in there? Do you strip down the choices and the processes that happen in the morning so that you actually give yourself 10 minutes to sit in comfortably into your office and adjust the seat, make sure it's comfortable, look at the ergonomics, and just do a bit of a check-in and go, okay, how's this going? Or a simple thing like, are you, because right now we're all doing so much of Zoom sessions, you kind of having an expectation of yourself that you're going to conduct conversations and meetings in exactly the same way as you would that you were in person. And kind of just straining your neck and just really just looking at the screen, not breaking eye contact, just expecting yourself to sit through 60 minutes frozen like that. Or is it a case that you actually realize that you can look away, that you can have different focal points, that you can make eye contact in that way? You can stand up, you can raise your desk if you've got one of those raising desks. One of the wonderful things that I discovered during this time is I've actually been able to do meetings while I've been walking. The other day, I completed 7 kilometers on a 2-hour call. That was wonderful to do. And it's these little small shifts that fundamentally give you more buffer, a little bit more energy, a little bit more of a mental recharge, and allows just fresh air and perspective that eventually leads to bigger shifts. Because you've been able to see that these small things are achievable, right? They're not overwhelming. They're not major structural shifts. They're just asking the fundamental question of, how do I simplify the situation? How do I check in with what I need right now? And how do I just put some buffer time in between what, when I'm moving from one thing to another? So some of the small things that, you might want to think about. I don't know if you're catching this on the replay. I'd love to hear whether you've discovered that a collection of small things have really led to big shifts for yourself or big energy generators for yourself. Share it with the world. Share it with us. Take care.